Shalom, my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. So first of all praises to our Elohim and to his holy son, Hamashiach. So before we get into this topic, just wanted to cover a few things. So this to let you all know, I'm going to be re-uploading the lesson on recognizing our 613 laws. Now, I've updated some things and added some scriptures. So if you've seen it already, I would highly advise you to please go back over it and watch it, because it's going to be the most important lessons. And I said lessons because it's going to be a part 1 and part 2. And the part 2 is going to be dealing with keeping our Abba's laws in our captivity. So this is very important, Zion, because these laws are the very heartbeat of the Most High. And there's no other true love outside of keeping Yah's laws. You know, anything outside of keeping Yah's laws is infatuation and self-gratification. You know, it's crazy. We got too many Hebrews arguing over petty stuff. You know, Esau's the white man. No, Esau's the Arabs. The earth is flat. No, the earth is round. You got to say Yehoshua. No, you got to say Yahawashai. No, you got to say Yahweh. You know, there's a lot of petty argumentative stuff going on within Israel amongst awakened people of the Most High. Everybody wants to prove how scholarly they are. But let me be the first to tell you, brothers and sisters, we don't know jack. So just think on that for a minute. You know, in my personal opinion, I think all this petty stuff is just a distraction to keep us from the very thing that really matters. And that's his laws, commandments, and statutes. And you don't see too many Hebrews talking about that. And sometimes I wonder, do our awakened brothers and sisters, some of them, do they actually really love the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes? You know, sometimes I just have to wonder sometimes, you know, with all the crazy argumentative stuff that's going on constantly. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the topic at hand. So, you know, the heathens are at it again. Yep. Up to their old tricks. Always trying to deceive the masses. But we know the deal, Zion. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you already heard by now. Trump made an announcement. He wants to immediately enforce this Space Force program. It's supposed to be the 6th branch of the armed forces. Now, this is nothing new. And I remember they were talking about this stuff back in the early 90s. And technically, this stuff has been going on since the 70s. And here's the thing with the heathens. You know, the heathens just don't do something or bring something out to the public just to be bringing it out. That means that they've been doing it for a while. They've been experimenting with certain things in space, weaponry, lasers, what have you. They've been doing this for a while, but they just now coming out publicly and saying, okay, well, we're going to start a Space Force program. Now, Zion, y'all know, if you're an awakened Israelite and you've been studying the word of the Most High, this ought to raise some red flags to let you know what the true purpose behind this is. This is not about trying to develop a space program or try to advance a space program. They know something. The elites that run this world, they know that the coming of the Hamashiach and the Most High is going to destroy everything. They know that the nations of this world, these heathen nations, are coming to an end. And no heathen on this earth will be able to divert Elohiym's vengeance, because his vengeance is coming so fierce. I don't care what kind of weaponry you got. And the Most High is going to allow them to get up all their weapons, all their advanced equipment. Let's go back and read 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 16. The Most High wants them to get all their advanced equipment, all their generals and their officers and everything. Now, they've been having stuff. I'm going to show this is a little clip that was from the 1990s. And you see, brothers and sisters, they've already had certain lasers that can shoot out into space and shoot things. Now, I want you to look at that little moving dot right there, a little moving white dot. And that's a UFO. Now watch it. It just got out the way and watch this plasma shoot up at it. See, I had missed it. Now it's going to do a replay here in a minute. Check that out. They're going to do it in slow motion so you can see it. See how it's starting to jet out the way? Now watch that beam, watch that laser beam come up. Bam. Get out the way. Ain't that something? Now they've been doing that a long time ago. That's been in play. And you know that little UFO you saw jetting out the way like that, now that could have been a chair of the Most High. We just never know, saints. We never know. And like I said in previous videos, I do believe that the Most High sends his chariots to watch over his people. But then there are some UFOs that are fake that the heathens are trying to imitate as well too. So you know how that goes. But you know what I wanted to say is this: what out there in space or out there in the universe that these heathens fear so much? You know, they've already been training our minds for it. When you think about all these alien movies they've been coming out with lately, aliens coming over to take over the earth, destroy mankind. They've been telling you all this long. They've been telling you over 50 years what's getting ready to take place. Because these elites that run this world, they know what's getting ready to take place. They know the deal. Now, this coming of the Most High, as we know it, is going to be the most fiercest, most fearful, the most gruesome, the most terrifying event we will ever see. Now, the world elites that run this world, they know what's getting ready to happen, Zion. And this is why they're going out of their way to spend trillions of dollars to enforce this Space Force program, which has already been in play for a long time. See, they're trying to slowly prepare, they're slowly trying to prepare the whole world for what's getting ready to take place. You know, they're giving little hints there and here and there, but the cat is already out the bag. For the awakened Israelites, we know what's getting ready to happen. And this is what they fear. This is exactly what they fear. The Bible says that the devil knows his time is short. And these elites know that their time is short. And it's interesting that, you know, Trump just recently signed this 1242 some time back ago. And notice that the first number starts with a 12. Interesting, huh? But they know exactly what's getting ready to happen. Don't think that they don't study our Bible. Don't think that they don't watch our videos. Don't think that they are not watching us. They are watching us. They're watching us to the T, because they're seeing all the prophecies being fulfilled. And everything that the word of the Most High said was going to happen is happening. And it's coming into fruition. So check out this clip right quick of what Trump was saying about enforcing this space program, and we're going to come right back.
My administration is reclaiming America's heritage as the world's greatest spacefaring nation. The essence of the American character is to explore new horizons and to tame new frontiers. But our destiny beyond the earth is not only a matter of national identity, but a matter of national security. So important for our military, so important, and people don't talk about it. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the 6th branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. General Dunford, if you would carry that assignment out, I would be very greatly honored also. Where's General Dunford? General? Got it? Let's go get it, General.
Now, I want you to notice what Mr. Agent Orange said. He said that we must have dominance, not only here on Earth, but in space. And see, that's the mentality of these heathens. they're so used to dominance. Do you think for once they want to give that up? Now, let me tell you what I believe that happened. I truly believe that the Most High gave them a glimpse, just a small glimpse of their destruction. You know, with all these telescopes they're sending in space, they can see so far out. I'm talking about hundreds of light years they can see out. And, you know, the Most High is going to allow them, and even allow them to think that these heathens, that they can take on the Most High with their weapons, their so-called advanced weapons. Well, I got news for these heathens. They are in for one hell of a surprise. And it's going to be a big surprise, because they're not going to even know what hit them. They're going to have all their advanced equipment, their technologies, their blue beams, their harps, their all that stuff. But it's not going to work. It's going to all fail terribly and miserably. But you really want to know what this space program is all about, this force program? It's about us, Zion. Let me prove it to you. This is why the heathen nations fear. They fear. And this is why they desire to kill us. Because the Most High had chosen a certain people. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto Elohim. Elohim hath chosen thee to be a special people. You hear that? A special people. What makes us special? The set apart righteous acts, the laws, his commandments, his very heartbeat, unto himself, above. It didn't say equal, it said above. Let me read that again, because you might have missed that. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. He didn't say parts of the earth. He says upon the face of the earth. All people that are upon the face of the earth. We are above all the heathen nations, brothers and sisters. And this is why we're the main focus points. That's why we've always been the main focus point. You see, all eyes are on us now, because now that all the prophecies are fulfilling, and now that the Most High, especially within the last just 2 years, I won't even go back further than that, just the last 2 years, the Most High has been awakening his people with such force, it'll make your head spin. And he's not even finished, because there's going to be more of our people who are going to wake up in the last hour. But see, this is what we got to face, right? And we're constantly facing this right now. What I'm about to read you, Matthew 24:9, it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of some nations. No, brothers and sisters, it didn't say some nations. It says, ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, for the Hamashiach's sake, the black Messiah with the woolly hair. Black is a coal, not some old white pale skin being with some blue eyes and blonde hair that these Christians love to worship. No, it's not going to be that. That's why it's going to be the element of surprise for these heathens, because they're looking for something that don't even exist. I'll tell you what they're looking for. They're looking for Caesarea Borgia. That's what they're looking for. They just don't realize it yet. You know, they like to say, well, it don't matter what color he is. Oh, yes, it does, you big dummy. It matters very much, because I guarantee you, if 99.9% of these heathens realize that Hamashiach was actually black and looked like his own people, they would all become atheists in a matter of seconds. Let's go to Deuteronomy 19:21. Because see, the Most High doesn't forget. And this is why we're seeing all this destruction upon this earth. It says, and thine eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot. Now, Zion, I want you to think about this for a minute. and let this marinate. Because remember the crack epidemic. A lot of you are old enough to remember that and was alive during that time, when they flooded the neighborhoods with drugs, the black neighborhoods with drugs, and our people got strung out on crack. And instead of building treatment centers, they built prisons, private prisons. That was the whole purpose. Now you fast forward today, and the Most High is returning that right back onto them with this heroin opioids epidemic, and it's at an all-time high. You know, look at all the diseases they tried to plant in us, and remind you, brothers and sisters, they're still doing this to us today. You know, all of it. And they try to plant all kind of diseases in us, but they couldn't destroy us. They can't destroy us. Now look what the Most High is doing. He's giving them skin cancer, giving them low birth rates. All kind of diseases are coming up within these heathens. You know, the heathens try to poison our water, our food, air. Look what the Most High is doing to them in return in their destruction. And we haven't even seen anything yet. See, the only thing we're getting right now, brothers and sisters, is a taste. Just a taste of the Most High's divine destructive power upon these heathens. Just a taste. Y'all hear me? And so everything that they've tried to do to us, the Most High has took it and returned it upon their heads tenfold. And they haven't even got the tenfold yet. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, we are living in some exciting times to see all this. The suicide rate is rising amongst these heathens. They're killing themselves left and right because they cannot handle stress. Now, there was a report from the Daily News that stated that 45,000 Americans committed suicide in 2017 alone. Now, that's just one report. Now, there are other reports out there that are saying that it's much higher, and I would not be surprised. You know, some reports are saying it was around 65,000 Americans that committed suicide. And I still believe the numbers are going to always be higher than what they're putting out, because they don't want people to know that these heathens are committing suicide left and right. So that goes to show you right there, the Most High does not forget. Alright, so everything that they've done to us, He's returning back on their heads. And our captivity is just about up, brothers and sisters. We ain't got long. But yet these heathens, they think that they're still going to be ruling over us in the kingdom. You know, and that's another thing. Just because these heathens are speaking the truth, just because they're going out telling people who we are, telling other people who we are, does that change the fact that they're heathens? Absolutely not. Everybody's going to have to pay a price. We had to pay for the price of our forefathers. The heathens are going to pay for the sins of their forefathers. But see, they seem to don't understand that memo, because they think that everything just could be forgotten and done away with. And y'all know what they're doing with the history books, right? They're trying to say that white people have been in slavery now. They're trying to say that other heathen nations have went into slavery to try to downplay the curses of the Most High. So they know. They know what they're doing. And they're going to pay a heavy price for it. See, let me show you from the Word what's going on, because every year these disasters get worse and worse. Everything against the heathens gets worse and worse. Deuteronomy 7:21 and 22, it says, "Thou shalt not be affrighted at them." Don't be affrighted at these heathens. Don't let them scare you, because their time is almost up. For Elohim is among you. He is with His chosen people, brothers and sisters. If you keep His laws, commandments, and statutes, none of these curses will fall on you. It says, a mighty Elohim and terrible. See, we forget that part sometimes. You know, the heathens love to say, oh, God is love. He loves everybody. And then you got our own people falling for the okie doke. Yeah, He loves everybody. We can't be racist. Verse 22. And Elohim will put out those nations before thee by little and little. Now, that's the worst kind of punishment. You know how it was when you were a little kid, you about to get that whooping and everything. Your parents just talk to you. You be like, man, just hurry up and get it over with. And that's the way it's going to be with these heathens. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase. See, they can't take the pressure. And when you put pressure on someone slowly, you know, it can do some damage. You know, I knew people when I was in active duty who were into psyops, and those guys, those are crazy guys. Those guys are the ones who torture people, and they don't just torture people full out blast. They do it little by little until they confess. And you know, that's the way the heathens are going through now. They're going through so much pressure. It's not happening all at once, but that little pressure, time and pressure, is going to break their backs here shortly, and they will announce who we are as a people. Verse 23, but Elohim shall deliver them unto thee. He's going to deliver them unto us, brothers and sisters. That means that we're seeing the destruction. They're going to have to bow down and acknowledge who we are as a people, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction. Y'all hear that? Mighty destruction, until they be destroyed. So yeah, they're going to have to announce, and then shortly after that, they're going to have to be destroyed. This bottom line. And Zion, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You can do this research for yourself. Go through all the scriptures. The heathens got it coming. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And get no plainer than that. And we see it. We see it with our own eyes. Just look at the stuff that's happening right now. You got to be living under a rock not to see what's happening to the heathens right now. And the heathens know it. Why do you think the suicide rate is gone up tremendously? Because they're too proud to let you know the truth. They're not going to just come out and tell you. I told you these people don't want to give up their kingdom. So what do you do when you don't want to give up your kingdom? You want to hold on to that white supremacy. You want to hold on to that white privilege, to be able to go anywhere and not be scrutinized, to be able to walk up into a bank to get $1 million loan so you can buy up all the properties downtown and drive out all the blacks, when you can get a good paying job with just a GED and you can be a high school dropout as a heathen and get a better job than a so-called black person. What you gonna do when that's threatened and you can't get that good job anymore? Oh wait, I got a solution. I'm gonna take my gun and I'm gonna blow my children's brains out. I'm gonna shoot my wife and blow her brains out. And I'm gonna turn the gun on myself and blow my brains out. How's that for a solution? What to do when everything that you love dearly is coming to an end, or it's threatened severely? You start a Space Force program. That's right. Let's build us some weapons. Let's build us some high-tech weapons so we can blow the Most High out the sky, so he cannot set his people over us. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, these heathens are relentless. And don't think that they're going to give up without a fight. And that's what the Most High wants. He wants them to fight. Wants them to advance their weapons. Because when the battle starts, when you read in 2 Ezra 15 and 16 and Joel, the battle of Armageddon, the battle of Jehoshaphat, it's going to all take place in the Middle East. It's going to be the greatest showdown that eyes have ever seen. And brothers and sisters, that's just right around the corner. We don't got long for that. And notice what Trump said in that clip. He said he wants to get this thing started immediately. Boy, these heathens want to get this thing popping. Y'all hear me saying? They want to get it popping and cracking. Boy, they must have saw something that just scared the living daylights out of them. I want to know what they saw. I wish I can get a glimpse of that. Boy, the Most High must have opened up a veil and showed him the blackness of him and the angels, and gave him a glimpse of the advanced equipment, chariots that are going to be coming. When they saw that, they freaked out like you wouldn't believe, almost lost their minds. They come out here and say, we got to get this rolling. We got to get this Space Force program. Well, they know. They saw something. They know the deal. And this Nibiru thing they're calling out there, whatever it's called, Nibiru, I call it wormwood, a revelation. And it's bringing its destruction with it. That's why they've been keeping it on the down low, they've been shooting a lot of meteors out the skies, brothers and sisters. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but there's been a lot of meteors that they've been shooting out the sky, and they've been keeping it on the down low. They've been able to keep it out the news. And then the people coming out who are saying they saw it, they're casting them off as crazy or just seeing something. So, but look what's getting ready to happen. So that's what this Space Force program is all about, brothers and sisters. It's all about trying to divert Elohiym's vengeance. They think that they'll be able to take the Most High out. They won't even have a fighting chance, even with all their advanced equipment and everything that they have. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verses 1 through 2. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him." These people who are constantly afflicting us, afflicted our forefathers, they're going to have to stand before the Almighty Yah. It goes on to say, "And made no account of his labors." Verse 2, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear." It says terrible fear. "And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for." Wait a minute, where is our white Jesus? Why are you coming for these Negroes? Why are you coming for these black people? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say niggers. You mean the Most High? You mean God is coming back for these niggers? That's right. They're going to say it just like that. And no wonder the word of the Most High says that they will call upon the rocks to fall on them, hide us from the face of him, that black face of him that sitteth on the throne. And boy, that's going to be a terrible sight for them, but not for us, brothers and sisters, because we're going to stand with boldness to receive our Elohim. Because we've been patient, we've been waiting, we've been afflicting our souls, we've been crying out to him. And most importantly, we're getting back to the Torah, getting back to these laws, commandments, and statutes, brothers and sisters. And that's why I stress the laws so heavily, because they're so important. That's what's going to take us home, is getting back into these laws, commandments, and statutes. We got to stop fighting over this petty stuff. Got to get back to these laws, the things that matter. Everybody wants to prove how smart they are. Got an agenda behind it. You know what? I ain't got time for that. You know, I'm trying to learn more about these commandments, laws, and statutes and keep them as the Most High instructed us to. So with that being said, Zion, stay in the fight. Keep your head up. Stay prayed up. Keep afflicting your souls with fear and trembling. And keep studying that word. And make haste to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High. Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of Elohim and have the faith of our HaMashiach, who will soon be returning to gather the elect from the four corners of the earth. And as always, I love you, my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, and it's always a pleasure to serve you. And I say shalom and stay strong, your fellow brother servant in HaMashiach.